haven't got time to mark this motherfucker. Here we go again. We can't hear anybody. Nobody can talk to anybody.
You guessed it, Pressure Points with your two favorite hosts. I'm D. This is Weebo AJ. We're coming at you with Season 6, Episode 39, Ocean's 5. AJ's stealing a note from my playbook, and he's going to walk us through a 2003 diamond heist. Once you go black, you never go back. Find us on Instagram and Patreon at PointsOPressure. Let's get to it.
Well, turn the fucking thing off, you dumbass.
All right, we got to speed run this episode. We got to go play video games.
Yeah.
Not multiplayer, by the way, just
Yeah,
individually.
No, not with one another, just the same game, but alone.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to go do that. But also, they're all Italian.
You said something about black when I asked you for the subtitle. You said, like, black doesn't crack or some shit.
I said black don't crack, but they were all Italians.
You didn't say the Italian
I
part.
definitely did.
I was just typing.
No, I said that part and you said, don't worry, I got it. You did. So that's okay.
Yeah, well.
It works.
Yeah.
Well, it will work.
Whoa. What did you guys think when I said once you go black, you don't go back? That's on you for taking that the wrong way.
Yeah, you racist.
Yeah, you guys are the racist
You guys make
ones.
me sick.
You guys twisted my words.
Oh, you're so subhuman. Yeah, how was your day? You've been gone all day.
Yeah, I went to my parents' place for my brother's a brother thing. yeah. I just went to my parents for a little family thing.
A little family get-together, yeah?
Yeah, my girlfriend stayed home. I told everyone she was sick, but she just didn't want to go, which is fair.
Nice.
So, yeah. And then all of them were like, oh, why didn't she just come instead of you? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Ask her next time.
Yeah, next time when I'm at home and she has to go to these. You guys take turns at your family, right?
Yeah, it's shifts.
It's one at a time.
Trade off. But no, I mean, it was good. Hung out.
Nice. Chill.
Yeah. Nothing crazy. Pretty easy.
Didn't get pushed into, like, when you having kids? When you getting married?
No, since I told my mom to fuck off about any of that
Nice.
stuff.
She's been
left it
respecting your
alone.
boundary. That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Boundaries are important in interpersonal relationships. Like this plastic barrier, this 3-inch bulletproof plastic barrier that's between us in the recording studio.
It's for my benefit, though.
Well, yeah, but I asked for it.
Oh, shit. How was your week? A lot of homework, huh?
Yeah. Stupid. I have to do like a dumb presentation
Oof.
on like community health.
Gross.
But I have to do the role of a community health nurse without the pay and more effective than actual community health nurses.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, not really. It sucks.
So cool.
No, yeah.
How exciting.
So great. Yeah, so it's, it's whatever. I'm almost done. Halfway done with the semester. Half of a semester
Almost
to
there.
go. Oh.
Almost there.
Yeah, so just busy. And allergies have been kicking
Bro,
my ass
same.
this year.
Fucking same,
Ugh.
dude.
I feel like I have a sinus infection. I know I don't, but every year it just gets so bad.
Honestly, the day after Halloween, I woke up and I was like, oh, good. I almost called into work because I felt like shit all day. And I was like, it's those fucking trick-or-treaters. Got their goddamn little germies and shit all over the place. I fully blamed them, but like I was like, fucking stupid goddamn kids, fucking
Just
idiot
putting
kids,
yourself in a sour
getting me
mood.
sick and shit. So yeah, I've just been taking like the world's hottest fucking showers each day and just cooking it out.
Yeah, I'm doing the showers. I'm doing so much Benadryl. It's making me like anxious and angry.
You want some ZQuil?
Oh my god. Is it
got
liquid
some.
or gel?
It's liquid. And I got Vicks. You want some?
We got some Vicks, but we had to order a new humidifier. We burned through our humidifier, so we got a new one coming tomorrow, I think, actually. So that'll be nice. And it has like the little Vicks place where you put some Vicks in it, and then it like it brings it into the room. Oh,
yeah, we have one of those.
It'll be so good.
So nice.
So yeah, that's been fun. Just fighting off allergies. And I'm a dude, so any kind of sickness of any sort
debilitating.
is completely debilitating.
It's cancer. Worse.
Dude, no,
Worse than cancer.
And then my wife has really bad asthma, so there was one night where I was like tossing and turning the whole night, and I was like, I'm boiling hot, but I'm freezing cold, and it's hard to breathe, just being a baby. And I turn around, and she has fallen asleep sitting up.
What?
Because she was just having a hard time breathing from the allergies. And she sleeps.
I just imagine her sitting straight up in the bed.
No, she's
instead
like,
of leaning against something.
No, she's
just
leaning
sitting
and stuff.
Straight up.
But it's like we're just struggling to breathe. Yeah, but it's whatever.
I'm calling into work tomorrow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I should do that.
Let's do it.
No,
We'll both sit in the same room and play video games
play
together.
RimWorld. No, I've got all of next, not this coming week, but the following week off.
I get Veterans Day off. Yeah.
Weird. When is that?
This coming Saturday, so I get the day off before that.
Oh, that would be nice. I wish I did that.
Yeah, it's weird.
That is really weird. Especially because it's not on a work day.
No, my girlfriend today was like, hey, this coming Saturday, I'm going to go put up Christmas lights at my parents' place so that they pay me.
Nice.
Before it gets too cold. And I go, on Veterans Day? She's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's fantastic.
Like, yeah.
No, yeah, I'm,
At least I think I have it
It's
off.
something.
And if I don't, it's going to be an interesting conversation next Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be something to... That's Monday's problem. No, I get a whole week off for school.
Hey, there you go.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have to go into school for 4 8-hour days.
Okay, never mind. Not cool. So it's not really a day off
No,
at all. Or a
not
week off.
not at all. I have to wake up earlier than I do for work.
Jesus.
Yeah, so not really looking forward to that. I'm hoping
Half a semester.
half a semester. Half a goddamn semester. And I'll have my computer the whole time. Maybe I'll just have RimWorld running.
Yeah.
I usually play Minesweeper in class.
Should just run it, but in the background. There's got to be a way.
Yeah. I mean, there's an option if you go to the menu where it just says run in background. Yes,
okay.
no.
I need to turn that on.
Yeah.
Because every time I click over on the browser so that I can look up shit,
It pauses.
it pauses and I'm like, no.
Yeah. If you just hit escape, it's one of the two.
Okay.
If you still have dev mode enabled, it's below dev mode, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Oh yeah, let's
Now,
do it.
now you're done with AJ's IT corner.
Yeah.
Um,
RimWorld tips and tricks.
yeah, if you play RimWorld, that's how you do that.
And if you don't, go buy it.
Go buy it. It's
buy
really
it
good.
and all of its expansions.
I'm only just
then
barely
watch-
getting into the ideology
and
expansion.
then watch
It's so good.
one video
No, watch nothing.
of how to. That's it.
Do not watch any videos. You'll die 3 times, and then you'll start getting the hang of it. And kind of, sometimes I wish I could go back to those days where I was like,
When you didn't know what the fuck.
where I didn't know what was going on. So it's like, day 5. Oh, shit. I starved to death on accident,
I don't.
you know?
I fucking hate that. Those stupid deaths are the ones that I'm like, this is bullshit.
I
Fuck
love
this
the
game.
stupid deaths. That's my favorite. Because if I just get raided, I'm just like, oh, my base wealth was calculated in the attack, and now, my people are still using bolt action rifles because I never focus on defense. So
I love the combat in it.
no, it's pretty great. I like run and gun. But all right, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
That's
just
for the video game podcast we're never gonna do. Sorry about that.
the RimWorld only podcast.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Ugh, that would get stale so quick.
Yeah, I would. Okay.
All right, we're gonna go back ancient history, 2003.
Vintage.
In Antwerp, Belgium.
Okay.
All right. Beautiful area, I assume.
Oh shit! This one's in we've definitely done this before.
No, you're lying. Jesus Christ, don't make my heart stop. I was like, oh shit, did we? I was like, I thought I put that in the text when I asked you.
I wish I read just the tiniest amount about it and just was like,
Just enough
this and this and this.
Oh, Leonardo? Yeah.
I should have.
Oh my God, if you did that, I would have a fucking heart attack. All right, but I assume this is a super nice place because it's also called the Diamond District.
Diamondillium.
Diamondillium. The specific, almost like a mall, is called the Antwerp World Diamond Center.
Whoa.
And at various points in its history, it's had up to like 70 or 80% of the world's supply of diamonds
Antwerp,
in it.
the World Blood Diamond Center.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So it's a bunch of rich people who don't appreciate what they have. So to give you an idea, this is like the intro of the movie, and it's like they start in the vault, and it's a backwards camera shot up through all the security shit.
Click.
Yeah, so you've got a vault. The vault itself has a number combination, but you also have to use a key that happens to be over a foot long.
A foot-long key.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
100 million possible combinations. There's a private security force in the building at all times. It has seismic sensors, radar. It utilizes magnetic fields, infrared sensors, thermal sensors, motion sensors, everything that you can think of is used within this vault because it's used by a ton of people. It's like a business district with a vault in it, so everybody in the offices and everywhere has access to I think it's 160 safety, like, secure boxes, security deposit boxes. And, tile floor, click, Italian click, leather click, shoes, click, click, click. Leonardo Notarbartolo.
Okay.
Leonardo Notarbartolo.
Yeah, there you go.
Say it like a Utah, no T's.
Yeah, Nota.
At this point,
Bartolo.
Leonardo is a professional thief. Ooh. He's a skilled social manipulator, says Wikipedia, which is probably narcissistic and, like, charismatic. And he's the leader. He's the brains of the operation.
Oh yeah, he's George Clooney.
He's George Clooney.
Okay.
I've never seen those movies.
You haven't?
But I understand they're
the
social.
First one,
yeah.
The first one's good. I mean, it's acceptable for when it was made.
Yeah, I can watch movies like
Worth
that.
it. Second one, totally forgettable. Anything after that doesn't exist.
Okay, perfect. So, I'll probably watch it eventually. Then you've got right-hand man, Speedy. He's an anxious and paranoid dude who's pretty much there because he and Leonardo have quite the track history together, and they trust each other. Okay. He's the trusted right-hand man, despite being very anxious. Then you've got the monster. He's described as this tall, jack dude who's a mechanic, an electrician, and also a driver.
Okay. Jason Statham.
Perfect. Then you got to keep going there. Two more. The genius. He's an alarm specialist and an electrician.
Steve Buscemi.
And then you have, this is the best one. This is the best one ever. The King of Keys.
Okay.
Which sounds like a demon. Like that's the name of a demon. The King of Keys, he's an old guy. He is the least known to all these people. And he is the greatest key forger of all time.
Bernie Mac.
And yes, perfect. And he is yet to be identified.
Okay.
Everybody else has been identified, but nobody can figure out who this guy is.
He's just anonymous.
He's probably just some old guy who's super nonchalant, and he just knows his craft.
Shit.
He knows his trade.
Okay.
But together, they were known as La Scuola di Torino, or the School of Turin, and they were all Italian dudes as far as we know. And that's such a badass name for like a thief group. Like this is the last time anybody who stole anything had flair and style. So I find that important to, put out because hopefully in the future, maybe some budding thieves listening to our show come up with a badass name and use really cool like nicknames.
Honestly, like imagine, like everyone knows the Pink Panthers. Like everyone knows.
You gotta.
And then I'm not even gonna attempt to say the fucking name again, but yeah, it's
the School of Turin.
Yeah, the School of Turin.
Badass. So their fearless leader. I want to say that a lot of this information came from an interview with him. And that's because police and European federal officers, obviously, I say federal officers, they don't have a federal government in the same way. Their equivalent, their government officers, couldn't figure it out. Could not figure out the heist and how they did it. So a lot of this comes from an interview with him, but he also kind of gives a dumb reason for it that throws at least that part into doubt. He says that he was hired by a diamond businessman basically to commit insurance fraud, and that they only stole a couple diamonds and the rest were just from that guy, and he just took them and it was insurance fraud. But the bank vault was not insured, so that kind of throws that for a loop.
Yeah.
You know, that whole idea. So I think he was just kind of deflecting for his own purposes, saying, "Oh no, I didn't come up with this. It was somebody else, and that's why we got caught or something." So he started off with the idea to break into this vault, and he rents an office building or a little office space in the building for 25,000 francs a month, or $700. That's
Okay.
pretty cheap.
Yeah,
it was a very small office.
I mean, considering you're stealing diamonds, that's a very small price to pay.
That's a hell of a deal. And he poses as an Italian diamond merchant.
Oh, man.
Perfect. So, he's got like the suits, the shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So his office gives him access to a safety deposit box in the vault, access almost 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
and an ID card that allows for 24-hour access to most of the locations in the building.
Jesus Christ.
Genius. He stole this idea from a diamond heister in New York.
Really?
Yeah, who also had some flair, who stole some stuff in the 90s. Might be worth doing an episode on.
Very well, might be.
A little backstory to his technique. But basically, this allowed him and, at certain points, other team members to access the building completely legitimately to perform their surveillance, their planning. They did the OG, like, the thing we thought about when we were kids and when we were learning about spies, the pen camera.
Yeah.
They used pen cameras
Hell yeah.
to scope out this place.
You remember, did you ever use those pen the pen lights?
Yeah.
Little click lights. I use those as the cameras all the time. I wouldn't click them on, but they just, because of the little bulb on the end of it, that was the spy
little pen
light.
lights.
Yeah.
No, I use those to check pupils in nursing stuff.
I still use them as
I still use them as spy cameras.
Yeah, still.
Even though they don't don't take film. But, I can pretend.
No, I pretend.
Yeah, it's just pretend.
This is what I do.
So, so he starts taking pictures. He starts taking pictures, taking video of everything that he possibly can. And at one point later on, the genius guy was like, we need like a closer look at the vault so that we can get the forger to, one, forge the key, but two, figure out the number combination.
Okay.
So he ends up stashing a full camera on top of like the door that goes into the vault. So like behind the vault door, walking into it, he put a camera up there. And you could just directly see the numbers
just
when people were
watched them.
inputting them.
Yeah.
And what the key looked like.
Jesus.
But they were like, how do we get the data from the camera to us? So they put a fire extinguisher. They replaced one of the fire extinguishers that was already in the building. But sealed inside the fire extinguisher, which was still fully functioning, is a completely sealed box with a sensor and a battery. And it basically took the data from the camera and then uploaded it to one of their servers.
Jesus
So
Christ.
they just had basically a 24-hour feed of just before the vault room. The vault room before the vault door. And they were able to see the key and the number combinations. And I think they started to kind of figure out the sequence. Because that combination is supposed to change all the time, the number combination.
Yeah.
So
It probably changes daily, if I'm being honest.
So they're trying to kind of figure out, okay, when does it change? How much does it change? Is there a pattern? Things like that. And I just think this is my favorite part. They build a full-scale replica of the vault.
I love that shit.
It's probably just in a warehouse.
It's on their floor.
Yeah, it's up in the office. But they built a completely scale replica of the vault so that they could rehearse the heist in total darkness. There's no windows in there,
yeah.
and they don't want to trigger light sensors.
Yeah.
So they have to do everything blind,
Jesus.
which is crazy. So they start practicing. It takes 18 months
Jesus.
of practice and surveillance for them to say, all right, we're ready.
I just don't I love heists. I just don't have the patience for them.
Right?
I've played
So cool.
Payday. I fuck it up every time. I don't
Every
have the
time.
patience for it.
You got to have the patience. And they were ready. The day before the heist, Leonardo had a very important task. His task was to go into the vault, find the heat motion cameras. The way they work is they have to detect a change in temperature and motion. And then they'll send an alarm. If they just do a change in temperature, it could be just the room, the ambient temperature, so it won't do anything. If they just detect motion, but it's not heat,
Then it's obviously not.
then it's obviously not a human being. You know, there's
It's
something
just a
going on.
stray cat. They're always sneaking into the vault.
always sneaking into the vault.
Shit always happens.
That's a pigeon or whatever.
It's a stray cat that opened the vent to outside, and it's July. Well, okay.
It's a little warm. It's fine.
Just
so-
a vent to the fucking vault.
So he goes in. He's friendly with all the security people at this point. Like, that was one of the biggest things, is that he would go down there all the time, because as the more comfortable he could make the security
You gotta
guys,
build a rapport.
the less they're gonna pay attention to you.
Yeah. They're not going to suspect you if they trust you.
Yeah. So he goes in and he sprays the sensors in front of security guards, essentially, who just weren't paying attention.
Oh, okay.
In front of cameras.
He's like, "Hey, John, how's your day going?"
Pretty kinda. And he
John's like, "What are you doing there?" He's like, "Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. It's just weird diamond stuff."
It's
John
diamond
goes,
stuff you wouldn't understand.
"Well, I'm just a dumb security guard. You're not wrong."
Yeah, so he sprays the sensors with hairspray because it blocks the heat sensing capabilities for
Jesus.
18 hours or something like that they determined.
God.
So, and he does it on camera, but the guards weren't watching him because they trusted him. They were very lax, because it was like, oh, it's just, whatever his cover name is.
It's
just Vito or whatever.
Tony.
Tony, yeah. I love the two super stereotypical names. It's great. So he sprays the cameras, and they're ready. He goes to a grocery store, I don't know, buys a sandwich or something, and then
Buy some fucking pasta.
yeah, some pasta,
Buys
some
a loaf
spagoot.
buys a loaf of
pasta.
lasagna.
Yeah, and he eats it, and the heist is set to go. He's the getaway driver
Oh, okay.
because he doesn't want to be. My thought is, why would you put him in? The guards might recognize him, or
Yeah, that's true.
tie him to it, or people in the area might recognize him
Yeah.
and say, "Oh well, that guy who I've seen there a bunch of times
Yeah, Vito.
has been."
That's Vito.
So he's sitting in the car, probably eating a sandwich, and he turns on the police scanner, and the other four guys, the monster, the genius, the king of keys, and Speedy, break into the building next door. It's an abandoned kind of office building, and they have the king of keys. So he lockpicks that. He could lockpick that in his sleep without his boner medication.
Yeah.
So they get in there super easy because they've found that the building that they want to rob is covered in cameras all over the place, but not in the private garden that is shared with the building next to it.
Oh, Jesus.
So they get into the building and just go out into the garden.
Yeah, they're in a dead zone.
There are no cameras. They put a ladder in that garden like the day before.
Oh,
and
my God, dude.
Nobody said anything. So nobody went out there.
They just put on like the construction jackets that they bought from the dollar store, and they're like, "Yeah, we're maintenance.
They pull a Steve
We're
Wallace.
supposed to be here," and just plop, and then they like walk out and they throw them away. Like,
Yeah.
well, those were,
Oh, that was worth it. Business
God
expense. You keep
damn.
your receipt.
yeah,
So
tax write off.
they put up a ladder. They climb onto the balcony. But I think the genius needed to go first because there's a heat sensor up there. So he climbs up and he brings with him his genius invention that is a fiberglass shield. It's just like a fiberglass piece of plastic.
Yeah.
And he puts it up and blocks the heat sensor, walks to it,
my God.
sets the shield down, and it just blocks the sensor.
Yeah, it's just blocks.
And they're set.
Damn, dude.
And then he disables the the window alarms, because window alarms are really easy to disable, especially if you know what you're doing.
Especially if you have a hammer.
Yeah, especially. So he disabled the window security sensors, and they're in. Dun dun. I don't know what musical
shit.
stings they use in that movie. Perfect.
It's just one of those like weird, like sneaky beat.
Perfect.
You'd know if you'd seen Ocean's 11.
So
Piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah. God. So they know where all the cameras are, and it's pitch black in there. So they just walk up to the cameras and put black bags over them.
I love how the setup for all of this is like, so they do this and this and this. And then it's just like, yeah, so they just use fiberglass to block the heat ray, and then they just put black garbage bags over the cameras. Yeah. The end.
So their idea was, okay, we can turn on some lights.
Yeah.
And they're so deep in the building that nobody's going to see it from outside. Mm-hmm. And if a security officer looks at those cameras, it's black because it's dark.
Because it hasn't been activated, yeah.
Well, even if it's just a CCTV camera, it's pitch black. There are no windows.
Yeah.
So, okay, easy peasy. So now they have little flashlights, and they can turn them on every once in a while, and they're not worried about it. So here's the vault. The vault's locking mechanism is a magnetic lock. So basically, there's a magnetic field holding two plates, and if that field breaks, so the plates move, it sends an alarm. Uh-huh. And I don't 100% understand how this works, because it is not described very well.
Hey, if you knew how it worked, you'd be a thief.
Yeah. The genius basically figured out. He got an aluminum plate and put a bunch of double-sided tape on it.
Oh, my God.
And he attached it to, like, the plates.
It in place. Yeah.
And then he loosened some bolts, and he taped it up onto the wall, and it just kept the magnetic field perfect.
He just goes, well, they're fucking magnets, so thump.
Pretty much. Except, yeah, that with tape.
The guy that designed the whole locking mechanism is like, no one's gonna override this, and
nobody can figure this
out. Dude
out.
shows up with like a Coke
tape.
With a Coke can and sticky
a
and double-sided
Coke
tape.
can and Flex Seal.
He's like, watch me, bitch.
It's fantastic. But it's like keeping two bolts in line to not break the magnetic field, and basically they can now open the door and the sensors won't say
that it was
shit.
Open. Yeah. Jesus.
So the King of Keys created a duplicate of the vault key that was considered impossible to make a duplicate from. And he did it from camera footage.
Jesus.
So they basically are like, okay, this key works.
The Keeper of Keys is fucking autistic.
The King of Keys,
as hell.
he's awesome.
He's so autistic.
He probably like lowered his glasses or whatever and said, I noticed in the footage that every time before the guards would come in here, they would walk to a utility closet that's just kind of off. And they're like, that's weird. Let's go check it out. They just open this like a mop closet, and the actual key is there. It's just there. Like, no locks.
No one's going to suspect this.
It's like a huge security flaw. It's supposed to be locked with them in like the security office. Yeah. But they're like, nobody's going to guess the combination, and this takes too long to walk through. We'll just leave it in the closet.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like,
what a fucking
idiots.
Oversight.
So the King of Keys was like, we may as well just steal it.
Yeah.
And then I can make a shitload of money
selling it to,
creating duplicate keys for this vault, because then he can say, hey, they don't even know that it can be duplicated.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, we'll just steal this, the real one too.
Fuck it. Why not?
So they unlock it, they figured out the combination, type it in, and they're good. And then if you've played Payday, you know there's an inner gate. So the vault is open. No problems. They have to turn off all the lights because there are light sensors in the vault that, they're worried about. So King of Keys, in the dark, lockpicks the inner gate, no problem. And now it's the monster's time to shine.
Hell yeah.
Complete pitch blackness. Again, vault. So pitch black. He walks in, counting his steps, gets to the direct center of the room, reaches up in the darkness, and because he's so tall, he can reach the ceiling, and moves a panel just to the side. And that panel is wires going in, wires going out of a little kind of control thing in the middle. And basically, this is for all of the security systems. If that circuit gets broken, an alarm goes off and everybody, raises hell. So he does the oldest trick in the book with this panel. And the piece in the middle is like if a trigger is, a sensor is tripped, then it blocks part of the circuit and then it goes off. So he just, again, complete darkness, scrapes some of the plastic from one of the wires on one side, scrapes the plastic from the wires on the other side, and just completely circumvents the center panel. He just literally wires one side to the other side around it. So if a sensor were to break, the circuit wouldn't be broken.
Yeah.
It would just continue. It's...
Oh, my God, dude.
So, yeah, it's exactly what you said, where it's like all this setup and all this high-tech stuff, and they're like, oh, yeah, we just put a wire around it. Like, it's so simple.
Yeah.
So...
What if we just take the key from the utility closet?
Yeah.
It's just like silly shit.
And they haven't, triggered any sensors, but now they can if they want to, because it's not going to do shit. The rest of the heat sensors were blocked by styrofoam boxes. And the light sensors, they just put electrical tape over in the dark because they knew where they were. So in the dark, they were like, all right, put some tape up.
Jesus.
You're set. And then they could just turn on the lights.
God damn.
So they still worked in darkness. They would turn on flashlights every once in a while.
So they
just in
rob a
case.
fucking like hub for diamonds with a ladder, some fiberglass, a Coke can, garbage bags, and electrical
and
tape.
some Flex Seal.
Yeah, and just a touch of Flex Seal.
Yeah. Perfect.
Jesus
Probably some tinfoil. They
Christ.
probably just used tinfoil to create the circuit. No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just tinfoil like twisted into a
Twisted
little
up.
line.
So they work in the darkness. The King of Keys determines they don't want to set off the seismic sensors that are built to detect drilling. So he just like brings a vintage hand drill, essentially.
Yeah.
And he just like pop. It's steel and copper. The boxes are made of steel and copper. So they're just breaking through these boxes. Bam, bam, bam. Easy. They end up hitting 123 of the 160 total boxes. Damn. Before they're like, this is good. They're just filling up duffel bags.
Yeah.
Gold, silver, mostly diamonds, and some jewelry. And they took about an hour covering their tracks. Kind of, other than the vault, they're just like reversing everything, taking off the bags.
Because there's a good chance that nobody's going to go into that for
a while. They're going to have some time.
God, who knows until somebody shows up for more diamonds. I don't know.
Yeah. This they just got a shipment in, which was totally on purpose.
Yeah.
So they're
They do it right after.
Yeah, so they took about an hour cleaning up their trail, and they just climbed down the ladder.
Jesus.
And they left. They got in Leonardo's car, or they dumped all the loot into Leonardo's car. Speedy got in. Everybody else were like, okay, we'll meet you at your apartment. So they just walked.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Make it look less suspicious.
Looks like they're walking home from the gym.
Yeah.
With all these duffel bags.
And they ended up taking more than $100 million worth of shit.
God damn.
Well over. But because there wasn't insurance on the vault, that's why it's not a perfect exact figure. Because it wasn't all like valued for insurance.
Yeah.
Which is, why wouldn't you have insurance on a fucking diamond vault like that? Like, oh my God.
It was impenetrable, bro.
Yeah. They also stole all the security footage.
Hell yeah.
Which is just perfect.
They just walked past with the now magnetized Coke can that's splayed out into one thing, and they just hovered it above
the tapes.
Fucking VHS tapes.
Yeah. And
they just touched it to the hard drives, which were also in a utility closet.
Yeah, unlocked utility closet. The lock was taped open. So yeah, so they make their getaway. Their plan is, we're going to go to France. We're going to burn the rest of any evidence, anything we have on us, anything at all is all going to get burnt. We divvy up the money, and we get out of there.
Oh, yeah.
And this, it's the perfect crime. Nobody ever found out. That's why I made this story up. No,
yeah, right.
Well, you see, none of the other people, we'll get to that. I was reading a recollection from the guy who found the open vault the next morning. Basically, this guy just goes to work. He's like, da-da-da-da-da, everything's fine. Gets in, unlocks his door, clocks in, whatever. Goes to the vault, and it's open.
Oh, fuck, dude.
And he's like, what the fuck? And he looks on the ground, and there's diamonds just on the ground.
What?
There was so much money that they just didn't take it all.
Yeah.
Because there was just so much that they were already getting away with.
Uh-huh.
So he called the monitoring security center and said, what's the status of the vault here? And they're like, everything's fine. It's sealed. We've had no motion. I was like, it's open right now.
Yeah, there are diamonds all over the place.
Will you call somebody? There's like a specific police task force for diamond crimes in this area.
Jesus.
So everybody, scrambles to figure out what happens. They're like, why the fuck is there a magnetized Coke can taped to the wall? How did they do this?
Yeah. What's all this electrical tape?
Yeah.
Like goo.
It's just
on
like the
everything.
gunk. Yeah. It smells like women's haircuts 5 years ago.
Why is the key utility closet open?
Yeah. The utility closet, no!
They figured out where the keys are.
Our stunning plan.
It's just, the utility closet is a doormat.
Yeah.
Lift it up and it's just a bunch of
It's
keys.
just keys underneath the whole building. So they're heading on the way to go to France. And Speedy has a mild panic attack.
Oh,
See, while Speedy was trustworthy, Speedy definitely has anxiety, and nobody besides Leonardo wanted Speedy on this heist.
That's okay. Here's the thing. This is going to ruin every heist movie anybody ever watches, but the person that people hate on the team, except for the lead guy vouches for somebody. Everyone else is like, I don't fucking like him. Mm-hmm. He's always the one that fucks it up every time.
Oh, he doesn't ever redeem himself?
Nope.
Oh,
no
that's
heist
stupid.
movie redeems the.
You'd think it would be like,
guy.
nobody likes me, but I trust you. Even though he keeps
Yeah,
fucking
no, and
up.
he still fucking blows it.
Oh, Jesus.
Every heist movie, it always happens. There's always the one dude
Perfect.
that you're like, oh, this guy's gonna fuck it up.
So he says to Leonardo, in the car with the loot, we need to get rid of this evidence now. I'm not I don't want to wait. We're driving around with this evidence. What if we get pulled over? Blah, 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 blah. So Leonardo's like, okay, fine. And he turns off the highway. Well, their version of a highway. Their big road.
Yeah.
And they go into a forested area. And he's like, okay, we got to change of clothes in here. Go burn all your shit. I'll burn my shit. And they kind of split up. He's burning his shit. Speedy, still having a panic attack. He's like, the cops are right around the corner. They have to be coming right now. What is happening?
Jesus, dude,
So he
chill.
just strips, throws everything in his pockets and everything, and just throws everything around in the forest, and kind of tries to bury it in the mud halfway.
Oh my God.
Panics, gets dressed, meets back at the car. They start driving, and he tells Leonardo, I didn't burn my stuff. I just threw it in the forest.
Fuck.
Leonardo's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, okay, well, nobody's gonna find it. And if they find it, why would they think it's anything other than trash? How would that
Because
even
there are
get
a bunch
into...
of diamonds in his pockets.
Yeah, a bunch of loose diamonds. And I was like, what are the chances that one set of clothing and some pocket garbage would be found, then turned over to the police, and then linked to the crime?
And then Speedy goes, oh shit, I left my wallet in my pants.
Yeah, I left my wallet and your wallet and your work ID. So, the chances of them finding that pretty low, so he didn't want to go back. So they get on a plane,
Which is
they
a
go
total
to
fuck up.
France
That's going to be the
with
one
all
that
the
gets him.
diamonds. The next day, a local hunter who happens to own that land
Yep.
stumbles upon the trash. 99% of the time, he'd be like, oh, that sucks, and either clean it up or just leave it. But he's recently been having some disputes with some local teenagers vandalizing his property. So he calls the cops so that they could add it to the evidence against those local damn teenagers who are messing with my property. And they find... At this point, the crime has been uncovered because it's the next day. And they find a very interesting receipt.
Oh, no.
And the receipt is for a sandwich. A sandwich from a local grocery store. And they kind of look into it, and they find on camera Leonardo buying a sandwich at that store a couple hours before the heist. And they're like, okay, this means nothing. Like, why did we do this? Well, in the area, probably just like in a trash can on the street, they find the sandwich, DNA test it.
What the fuck?
DNA test, like, what they think is spit or something, you know, they get a sample, and it marks to Leonardo, and that places him at the scene of the crime at the time.
Jesus.
A fucking sandwich.
Good God, dude.
And yeah, basically they find everybody except the King of Keys, but they don't find the majority of the diamonds.
Yeah.
So maybe the King of Keys has the diamonds. And he gets 10 years because of sandwich DNA.
Yeah, Leo.
Yep, Leo gets 10 years. Everybody else, except for the King of Keys, gets 5 years. They don't know where the diamonds are. Still, to this day. And I think,
honestly,
legitimately, I think the King of Keys' job was launder these.
Yeah.
It's going to take years to launder that much in jewelry and diamonds and shit. I bet he's just laundering that, waiting for them to get out of prison.
I mean, it would make the
and
most
then
sense.
to give him their cut.
Because it's like, hey, if we get caught, we need one person that none of us know his name.
Exactly.
None of us can put a fucking, like, face to the name, whatever. He takes everything, and I imagine him as just like the silent guy, like his tongue is cut out kind of guy. And he's like, and it's just like,
no,
it's all...
And
they can't confirm anything because they don't know who the fuck he is. They don't know where the fuck he's going to take everything. And it's just like,
and
you take
he's
my
an older
word
guy.
for it because I've done 17 heists before this and I was involved in all of them and you guys don't even fucking know that I was.
Or I think he was, it's just like, he's going to be flying under the radar.
Yeah,
He's going to be
exactly.
the one laundering and getting it, and it's going to be like we know where to find you.
Yeah.
If you try to double cross us, you're an old man. We'll murder you. Like,
yeah.
And there's no way he could spend all that money, you know?
For real.
And that would be pretty difficult, at least for me. And he ends up getting parole. He was sentenced to 10 years in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
He got 10 years, but given parole in 2009.
Okay.
He immediately violated his parole.
Oh my God. Why? What did he do?
Part of his parole was to begin to pay back the people he stole from.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, so he just was like, no.
Yeah.
He flew to the U.S. for a while.
He's like, I will violate that because there's no fucking way I'm paying back.
It's like, yeah, I'll pay. I'll start to pay back stuff. Flies to the U.S.
Yeah. Peace.
Yeah, and he eventually gets caught by somewhere, I think outside of Paris, at an airport. Oh, yeah, it was a layover to Italy in 2013. He gets caught, arrested, to serve the rest of his time. Released 2017, as far as I can tell. Probably still just robbing places.
Yeah, keep your ears out for another fucking heist.
And yeah, the loot was never found. The vault was uninsured, so they're not getting any money. Oh no, the rich blood diamond farmers aren't getting their money.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, so that's the King of Keys is out there.
Yeah.
There's some old. I imagine he's Polish. Like he's got kind of that old Polish accent. He's got the hat, like the sweater vest.
Romanian.
Yeah, Romanian dude.
That's what they call him. It's not the king. They call him the King of Keys, but they also just call him the Romanian.
The Romanian.
The Polak.
The Polak. Yeah. And he's probably just laundering away $100 million worth of diamonds.
For now,
and I mean, maybe
he's already
Leonardo
rich.
went to meet him in the U.S. Maybe he's got like mob connections, and that's how he's laundering shit. That's wild conjecture, but I love it.
Is your dad?
I just love the idea. Yeah, oh God, I wish. I love the idea that there's just the old guy, and he just made away with all the loot.
Yeah, he's like, they're not gonna fucking find me.
Yeah, there's no way.
He owns a fucking diamond store.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. He owns a diamond store.
Owns a jewelry
it's across
store.
the street.
He owns a jewelry store in like buttfuck Indiana, in Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana. It's like,
and he just scams people with diamonds.
It's
that
called
are like, I'm gonna get married.
It's called the King of Kings Diamond Store.
Yeah,
in Gary, Indiana. And
and that's how
every
he
year
keeps his supply. He doesn't even
Yeah.
have a supplier.
No,
He's just selling it all.
He doesn't
off.
even sell any. It's Gary,
Yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah.
It's an empty store.
No, he takes the big ones, smashes them down to smaller ones,
Yeah.
and then profits even more off of them.
Perfect.
Just selling it to idiots in Indiana that are like, I need a diamond ring for my marriage. No, you don't.
Yeah, no.
You don't need that. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it makes me think about like how many heists have happened that are just covered up,
Oh, I'm sure.
covered privately with insurance money, and just brushed under the rug. Like,
Well, I mean,
how many diamond heists have happened that the insurance just paid it out? It's not like you can really tell the difference between two exact cut diamonds.
well, I mean,
like,
when you think about like some fucking diamond magnate that he's got the supply, he's like, okay, I'm going to sell it to someone, or I'm going to hold it somewhere like this fucking
yeah,
Belgium play. Like, he's going to make sure to go to somewhere that's reputable and that's going to keep them secure. The fact that somebody got past their stuff and the fact that it went public, they're done.
yeah,
they're
that's
fucking
a
finished.
bad
It's
reputation.
a terrible look, even especially because they're not insured. But I'm sure that that's part of their selling point is they're like, our vault is so secure, we don't even have to insure our diamonds.
Yeah, right.
And so these guys are like, all right, yeah, whatever. Like that makes sense in the world of money. And so as soon as this place gets robbed, it's fucking done for. Like, no one's going to try to keep
That's
their
what
shit
the King
there.
of Keys did. He opened another vault.
Yeah, he just opened another vault
Across the
yeah.
street.
And he's like, look, I have all these things that are already kept in here. And nobody was like, oh, these are stolen goods.
No.
But yeah, like this company, I guarantee they're fucked.
Yeah, they had to like close, rebrand entirely.
They're like, we're a bank now.
yeah. So it's I love these heists. They're so much fun.
I love heists.
They're
the
so
best.
I just love how stupid they always end up.
Yeah.
Peter, I use my styrofoam takeout container to block a $4,000 camera sensor.
Because the thing is, they always make it look like so glamorous and like sneaky
High-
and smooth
yeah.
and high tech in movies. But when it comes down to it, it really is just like silly shit. Like the keys are right next to the front door.
Yeah, it's human error.
Yeah.
The key's under an obviously fake rock.
It's always just funny shit, but Hollywood has a way of making it look like so much more complex. Mind you, I love every heist movie I've seen.
Yeah.
They're always predictable, but I still fucking love them.
Mm-hmm.
And then real life heists are 10 times better because it's always if you ever get robbed and we're talking about you on our show, it's because you're rich and you were up your own ass about it.
Yeah.
And that's what fucked you. And
Exactly.
I love it. I'm here
That's so
for
great.
it. Yeah.
And it's very much a Robin Hood-esque, like low technology to beat the low technology, low budget to beat the high tech, high budget.
Yeah. Nobody
kind of thing. It's the underdog story.
Nobody could get past our first sensors. Guy with a fucking can of hairspray.
Can of hairspray. A guy who paid rent to you for 18 months. Like how I love that.
Also,
I love that idea.
Fuck him for getting an entire office space for $700.
I mean, it was a small one, but
I don't give a shit.
But
Fuck
still,
him.
that's a good amount. Yeah, he probably just lived there.
Probably.
Yeah, but
I love it.
God, I just love the low tech solutions. It's so
fantastic.
great.
It's always the
just makes you
best.
think about it in a different way, where you're like, oh, that house I'm gonna rob, it has all these cameras and sensors and stuff, but 90% of the time the door's just unlocked and the sensor isn't armed. Like,
Batteries are out.
yeah, batteries are out of. I had to use the batteries from my Xbox controller and my dildo.
So I worked at this fast food place and we had cameras all over the place. And I was close to the
Was it a
manager.
Hardee's?
And I was like, no. I was like, can you are those cameras on like the whole time we're working? And he was like, no. I was like, do they just turn on when we close? And he goes, no. The manager just put them in so that people think we have cameras that work. None of them are wired. None of them have batteries. Like, they don't connect to anything.
Hell yeah.
They're just there. And I was like,
love
no
that.
fucking way. He's like, no, I'm dead serious. And like pulled up the security app thing that they had.
Oh
and
my
he was
God.
like, "Look, it's just empty." I should have just robbed the place.
You should have at that point.
But
Point. Let's go back.
Yeah.
You still... All right. You didn't hear it here first, but
Yeah.
I need somebody that I can call the genius and somebody that I can call the monster.
Yeah, and someone that we don't know, that we can't know. We need you to
I
give
need
us-
somebody that we
reach
don't know
out.
and can't know. Please reach out using a proton mail email only for no reason.
Oh, Jesus.
We gotta go rob that place.
Yeah, I mean, you'd get like fucking $300 out of it.
Hell yeah, dude! That's
Hey.
$300 more than I have written in my pocket right now.
Right? Oh, shit. Well,
Oh, that's fantastic.
Good shit.
I've heard
I
that
love the
a
heist
lot of
stuff.
places, even like bigger museums and stuff, usually only keep their backups of their video cameras for like 48 hours,
yeah.
and then it just replaces them. Like, obviously that's changed probably more recently just because data's really cheap.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many places are still running on tape?
Yeah.
Like,
no joke.
a lot of places aren't going to pay for that upgrade.
That
I mean,
they're
I'm
like,
sure
yeah, I'm not gonna
the
upgrade
Louvre
our-
is going to
Yeah.
be fucking top notch, but it's still like, 48 hours. If the secret to stealing something is people not finding out that it's gone for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And then you're in the clear.
Yeah. They're not going to catch you.
There's no way.
The other secret to
Nah.
getting away
Getting
with
on
it is not eating a
anti-anxiety.
fucking sandwich and dropping it at the scene.
Yeah. I imagine it was just in a garbage can on the street, and they're like, oh, this same type of sandwich was bought. I don't know how they figured that
no
out. Like, that
idea,
is
dude.
crazy shit. But
I'm not sure.
yeah,
Wild.
the real secret is bringing other people's spit samples
Yeah.
that you don't like, and just putting them in a spray bottle around the scene.
Ripping a piece off a sandwich and spraying their saliva on
spraying it onto it.
it. Jesus. Good shit,
Yeah.
though. I love it.
Getting a cookie cutter in the shape of your teeth.
In the shape of their teeth.
In the shape of their teeth, biting a
damn.
piece off and then spritzing it with the spit spritz.
Yeah. That's the way.
That's
That's the way
it.
to do it. All right. Well, if you guys would like an extra episode per month that comes out a day late and $1 short, check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/points-o-pressure, or just search us in the search bar. We've got a handful of Sloppy Seconds episodes on there, more on their way. We've got like 15 or so exclusive episodes that are on Patreon
We're getting
only.
up there.
Yeah, so go check.
Full color title images. Don't
full
forget
color
that.
images. Yeah, check those out.
No intro music. Hot
Right?
start or cold starts
Yeah,
every
cold starts,
time.
cold ends, baby. Yeah, and if you can't afford it, it's okay. We're just glad that you guys are listening here. But yeah, you got those names.
Oh yeah, we've got Mini D and Toddle Waddle. They are the board. They said I could not hire George Clooney for this episode.
Yeah, it was a
Unfortunately,
little
it just
too
wasn't in the
expensive.
budget. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think he's on Cameo?
Probably more than likely.
Yeah, we should do that. All right, and then of course we've got Abby, AJ's Third Nut, Kitty Titties, Thomas, Weston, Dark Runner, D's Nuts, G Dog, Hayden, Lara Rivo, and Lindo. Thank you guys so much for being here, hanging out, listening, all that stuff.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. We wouldn't be here without you. So never thought we'd get this far. So thank you so much. And as always, if you guys ever have any ideas for episodes, or you want to recommend movies, TV shows, music, books, documentaries, if you have some memes you want to send along, by all means, reach out to us on Instagram at pointsopressure, or feel free to email us at ppdnaj@gmail.com, or go to our website, pointsopressure.com, and go to the Contact Us page. We'll catch you guys next Monday.